I've listened to Bon Iver's self-titled record an unhealthy amount of times, but today we're going to put my obsession to the test. In this video, I'm going to recreate the song Towers from memory. All I get is the lyrics and the chords. I have to figure out the tempo, the instrumentation, the arrangement, the mixing, everything else. And my goal is to make it sound as similar to the original record as I possibly can. But first, hi, my name is Lucas Fournier. I'm a full-time music producer for indie artists based in Montreal, Canada. So you'll watch me produce the whole track, and then at the end, I'll play you the final thing. Meanwhile, I will be listening to the original song for the first time since I took on this challenge to see how close I got. Let's get into it. I've got a blank dot project pulled up and I got my electric guitar. I'm gonna use my Fender Telecaster for this. And yeah, here's what we know. We know standard tuning, capo 4, and I know the part goes like this. Okay, so now the tone. Obviously, I'm not gonna get this exactly right off the top of my head. I know it's very clean. It's probably pretty punchy. I like this preset a lot as a starting place. This Jack Gardner, Clean as a Whistle. I think that's not a million miles off, so I'm gonna worry about, finessing the tone later. And for now, I'm just gonna record it. Oh, tempo. Okay, definitely a lot slower than that. 100? It's a little fast, huh? 95, 2, 3, 4. That feels pretty good. Yeah, let's record. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There's a weird thing here. I think there's a bar of 2/4 here. I think that's just a single bar there. This I am very curious to see if I am correct about. So. 1, 2. For the funk forevermore. Okay, all right, let's go from there. Okay, tricky zones. We got to the end of the second verse here, and then we have dum dum dum, and you tear the rain out. I'm just gonna punch in from there because it's kind of hard to transition to that for me. Okay, that was a little rough, but I think we got the gist of it. And then here, so there's a key change here. We have this really cool chord, the I'm with Hagen Woo. And then we go down a whole step here. I'm just gonna lower the capo so I can do the same hammer-ons and stuff. Cool, so that's a very rough pass at the guitars. Again, I am not 100% sure if the guitars are double tracked. So I'm literally just gonna think about the context of the album where everything is very wide and layered. And I'm gonna take a guess and I'm gonna say, yes, it's double tracked, but I have no idea. I'll do 2 takes of the whole thing and then, I don't know, we'll see how it sounds. Okay, I recorded double track guitars for the full song and I played around with the amp sim just a little bit. I'm really liking where this is sitting. Here's how it sounds right now. I also added a 3rd layer in the center, just emphasizing that melody a bit more. Again, I have no idea if they do it in the actual song, but it just kind of felt right. I definitely don't think I've nailed the tone, but I'm in the right ballpark and I'm happy to move on to some vocals. And I'm never gonna sound like Justin Vernon, obviously, but I'm gonna try to sing a little bit more like whiny in my falsetto. Like usually I do a very soft falsetto, like for the love I'd, but I'm gonna try to go more like for the love I'd fallen on, because Justin sings a little bit more like that. I'll try, we'll see what happens. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how I sung that, and I don't say that often. I think these first 2 takes are a bit stronger, but I might splice little bits from that other take. Let's see. Okay, it's sounding pretty good. I want to jump ahead to the bridge because this is the fun part. Let's be honest. So, let's see what happens. Don't you tear the rain out from your fragment. And verse 2. From the phone forever gone, from It's the next day. I got my Tims. I ended up having to work on some actual records for actual artists yesterday because shockingly, my job is not actually to recreate random Bon Iver songs all the time. By the way, if you're an artist and you're interested in working together, just hit the first link in the description. So I'm definitely gonna need to tighten up the vocals editing wise. We'll add harmonies and other vocal layers later. I've like set up the project for that. But for now, I wanna get into some instrumental stuff. So I'm gonna start with what I know, because there's a lot of production ideas that I'm very fuzzy on in this song. But one thing I know for sure, the drums come in this bridge here, on this downbeat. I believe it's like a rolling snare in there, and there might be other stuff, kick, cymbals, who knows. Probably a kick. This is the Indie Folk expansion pack on Easy Drummer 3. Sure, I don't really know what the snare sounds like in the song, but we'll start with this. From your fragments. Okay, pretty rough timing wise, but we'll go in and edit it. I have this urge to quantize, but I don't think I will because this song should be, you know, a bit more natural than that, but as you can see, I'm pretty off. This snare sounds better. So I think it is kind of like this marching sort of snare, and this one has a lot more. Yeah. This feels like there needs to be a kick every beat. Thump, thump, thump. I guess that's a 4 on the floor. From your fragments. That kick sounds ridiculous. Yeah, that's gonna be better. And then now, partway through this last verse, the drums come back in. Is it there? I believe it's there. We'll do a little like open hat. Okay, a little kick in there. It's also crying out for a shaker. Okay, not bad. What I really want to do right now is I want to like thicken up these bigger sections, get them feeling kind of closer to how they should. And then we can think about whatever other instruments are in there, and then we can fine tune everything, which will be a arduous process, I'm sure. I'm questioning whether bass comes in on verse 2. I know for a fact there's basically nothing else in verse 1. Verse 1 is just the guitars. And then verse 2 rolls around. From the phone forever. Like something has to change. I feel like we hold off on bass until this bridge part. Verse 2 might just be some like ambient layers and stuff. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. From your fragments. I doubt that's even close to the actual thing, but that's the best I can do. Okay, and now if I was producing this song, I would want to subtly thicken up these sections. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do double-tracked acoustic guitars, just kind of playing the same thing that I'm playing on the electric. Okay, and then same thing in the bridge section. Gotta get rid of this pathetic little cymbal here. Yeah, it's not right. So I know for a fact there's gonna be some pedal steel in there. There's gonna be just, you know, some kind of like atmospheric pad. Then I think there's gonna be some kind of like more retro sounding synth. Like I've seen all those Justin Vernon interviews where he talks about like the Bruce Hornsby influence and stuff. And so I'm just gonna call it a synth. I mean, there's be some kind of synth in there. And then brass, because I know they worked a lot with CJ Carmieri in this record, who's this horn and trumpet player, and makes those beautiful brass arrangements on a lot of the indie folk stuff that we all know and love. And then I'm pretty sure there's some strings doing some melody at the end. There are strings in a lot of this record. They're rarely super prominent, but I'm excited to do some live strings because that's my favorite thing to do. I know there's a lead guitar part because transitioning into this bridge, I know there's a part that goes. Like it should stand out a bit more like tonally. Maybe a little bit of crunch. Don't know if it's right, but it's cool. Okay, more layers. So I'm pretty sure there's some kind of pad or just some little new element in verse 2 to make it slightly different from verse 1. So I'm just gonna add in this pad here from Labs. It'll be subtle, but it'll help. From the phone forever gone. And I want to add some kind of 80s synth. I'm pretty sure there's something like that, or just like a little texture in the melody. From the phone forever gone, in the toes of your honeycomb. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll do the chords for the second half. When you're filling out your only phone. And you know what? Let's get the bass guitar in that melody as well. Bum ba ba. Build your tether out from your. So I think there's something else here. So there's that ba ba ba. Build your tether rain, and then I think there's. I'm pretty sure it's pedal steel. Break the sailor's table. Little slide here. This pedal steel is gonna be a pretty subtle layer, I think, but it will be important in there. So in my head, some of the brass is doubling the vocal melody. We have like a brass going boom, boom. The only brass plugin I have is like the Contact library, and it's not great, but I'll use it as a starting point for now. There should be a little third in there. We're definitely getting the right sounds and textures in here. I don't like these brass VSTs, but it's a starting point, it's fine. You also will have heard I got rid of my whoa, because I sang them pretty badly. They're hard to sing, they're in a weird register for me, but I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna use my favorite technique for this kind of vocal where I record actually in stereo and then move around the room. I'll sing really far away from the mic to get just some natural mic sound in there. So then I'm going to do 5 choral layers. I'll do 2 lower octave, 1 higher octave. I'll start with the lower octave because it's easier for me to sing. Okay, without even editing these, this sounds so much better than they did before. Yeah, there's a really important melody here. I think it's the pedal steel that does it. The da 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 ba da da for the love. I'm gonna do it with the pedal steel. I think that's right. I want to thicken up the percussion a bit, so I'm going to do another indie folk technique that I like, which is shaker on the left, brush on the right, wire brush, cardboard box. That's all you need. And you know that goes for production and for life. I think that helped a ton, actually. One thing I keep hearing in my head in this last verse is like a little kind of pingy thing going. Don't know if that's in the song. I think I'll use this synth that we did for that. So like a... I think that's cool. Maybe the brass could actually follow that too. Doing a harmony. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I gotta do some other work before dinner, but we'll come back and then I'm gonna record some strings and some vocal harmonies, which I think are gonna get us pretty close to the final thing, aside from some little changes in sound selection and mixing and stuff. At this point, I needed a little change of scenery, so I became the weirdo editing vocals in a public library for a few hours. That was really fun. Then I got some food, came back home, and then wrapped everything up in the evening. So, I'd love to get some strings in here. There might be some strings in the big bridge section. There almost definitely is. Like, I'm in my head, I'm hearing this swell into this. Some kind of melodic swell into that. Oh, also I changed out the brass VSTs. I just wasn't liking the previous one. I'm doing this instead. Going for a more orchestral sound, and that's using this guy, BBC Symphony Orchestra by Spitfire, and then Abbey Road 1, those two layered together. It's more of a background texture, but it gives this kind of grand feeling to everything, which I like. On your just gotta set the microphone. You can never see the mic when I'm recording strings, but it's above my head pointing down at me. For anyone curious, I do use auto-tune on my strings, and these are the settings I use. Harmony for that. So then here I want to follow the melody. I want to go. I want to go. Okay, I'm gonna add some of my viola cello monstrosity in here. This is a viola with some cello strings on it. Don't ask. It'll just help thicken everything up a fair bit. Okay, so in context. They do something like that in the actual song. I don't know what. It adds a lot though. It really makes the section feel just more grand and stuff. All right, I'm gonna do a bit more of that, finish out this section, maybe add a little bit in the bridge. I'll do that off camera because I don't want this video to be a million years long. And we'll also add some vocal harmonies. Let's do that, and then we're gonna be pretty much done after that. Okay, there's a couple of things I feel like would work really well. First is the cymbals that I've been using so far have been like bugging me. They've just been not feeling right. And I realized more of like a cymbal roll, like a might actually work better for all these transition parts. Luckily enough, I made a free sample pack with a bunch of cymbal rolls. If you're interested in this, that's one of the links in the description. And I might use this one. From your fragment. Do a different sample here. On your sacred. One at the very end. There is a non-zero chance that's what they do in the actual song. It just works really well in indie folk sounds in general. Also, now that we've added all these melodic layers, this bass that I did is feeling really busy, so I want to redo the bass in the bridge part. I'm 50-50 over whether Justin would do harmonies from the beginning or whether he'd start them in verse 2. I'm gonna start them in verse 2. It's less work for me, but I very well could be wrong about that. I don't know. From the fog forever gone, in the towers of your honeycomb, I'd tore your hair just to climb back, darling. That's definitely not the harmony there, but it's kind of cool. I like it. Definitely have to pitch correct these. Just to climb back, darling. It does a really nice job at thickening up the vocal. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit more of that and then just make little tweaks to things, probably obsessively in a way that would not be fun to watch on a YouTube video. And then I'll show you the final thing. Catch you soon. Okay, it's time. I got comfy pants and socks on. So yeah, I'm gonna press play on the actual version of Towers, play on my speakers. You'll be hearing my version because copyright YouTube. Okay, I don't know what to expect, but let's do it. I got a lot right. I got a lot wrong. I think the original goes a lot heavier with like sound design and stuff, and it's just a little more like ambient. Mine is a little too kind of forward and stuff, but who knows? And there were harmonies at the beginning. Yeah, oh well. And one more time, if you do want to work together, just hit the first link in the description. You can fill out a form and send in some music, and we can see if we're a good fit to work together.